They ask me how an economist becomes a children's poet, and my answer is always that I had a very delicate operation, of course, which isn't true. But I would say, in a word, serendipity. I didn't discover poetry until I was almost 40 years old. And then I became a fool for it, and knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing it, but I couldn't quit my day job, so I continued teaching for another 10 years. And during that time, I was actually writing both adult and children's poetry and publishing it. I think I had about 15 children's books published before I retired early from this little college where I taught in Ohio. And, you know, I won't say it's been smooth sailing because, as I tell kids at every school visit, rejection is the name of the game, even when you've published lots and lots of books. I get rejected all the time, and it's just something you come to accept. I took my children to a place in Kentucky called Cumberland Falls, and if you're there at the right time of year, by which I mean that there must be a full moon, you will see something there you'll never see anywhere else in America, only in Lake Victoria in Africa. It's, if there's a full moon, you'll see a white rainbow. And in Kentucky, they don't call it a rainbow, they call it a moonbow. And I was so, exercised by that I came home and I thought, well, I've got to write a story about it. I did. I sent it off. 2 weeks later, a publisher called me and said they wanted to make a book out of it. I said, wow, this is going to be easy. And 2.5 years later, that same publisher canceled the contract. And it broke my heart, but it also taught me that this wasn't going to be easy. So for the next 7 years, I got nothing but rejections. And, I could have given up, but I believed in what I was doing, so I kept at it. And I finally got my first acceptance. That was in 1985. Yeah, published my first book in 1988.